Yo, T, what's up,
Now
man?
watch time and space rock the great matriarch, whether
Getting
it's
it
day or
started too
dark,
crazy.
creates the spark, ways the heart, as I sun ray my art, per make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fixed, marks once we make knowledge one is when time and space rock the great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, ways the heart, as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fixed, marks once we make knowledge one is when the run and pace rock. I rose up, took a shower, purified my arc field, took copper for a wall to ensure my chlorophyll is pumped. Done some curls for sure, afford to build solid foundation. My crown chakra core and heal, pound the pavement. Sacred ground, freedom I stand for. Free all political prisoners of war, man or woman in jail. Rid the land of all foreign and alien entities. I decree this morning, send them back to whence they came. Is the peace laugh or war cry, whatever the relevant name of each path, simple, highest form, spiritualities, how you teach math, a humble beast is still a beast, now feel the beast wrath, rain fire upon them, as that internet forms, sigils, emojis, and the avatars that wore them, destroy this de facto government and its problems, establish Big Mom's house so she may restore him, the great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, ways the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes, marks once we make knowledge born is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, raise the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes, marks once we make knowledge born is when rhyme and bass drop. But excuse, note to self, quit plan, hit the gas. This shaft is called my turn, take the risk as fast. Most of them got vaccinated with chips in their ass, plus rappers sacrificing each other for grist in their cash. Shacking, watch videos with other subliminals, predictive programming, weirdo, strong menstrual shows. The land's contaminated, fruits and vegetables, black minerals, the water and skies I fry. Liquid chemicals, technology. Got me here in front of my desktop, perusing these beats and whatnot for my best option, contemplating which bar will next spot to unlock the minds that are stuck within a Xbox. Off the chart, I continue to climb, watching the rest flop like carp fishing, 100% fresh shark water. I'm on the front line, X marks the spot. I shine because of her, for she's the best sport. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark. Ways the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes, marks once we make knowledge one is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark. Ways the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes, marks once we make knowledge one is when the run and bass drops. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the great matriarch. Honor and respect to our ancestors. Jah, you've always had a father, the author of your flow. Push your fire starter to the cause of your glow. But the trail I've blazed, I pray you turn from it. The hell I've raised, I pray you don't burn from it. The work I put in, I pray that you earn from it. The mistakes I've made, I pray that you learn from it. You my splitting image, little darker, little taller. I'm a shot caller, though you just a little baller. Little chief, I'm still teaching you like he got game. My healing, reaching you despite me locked and chained. Black hills begin true, you ignite lots of pain. I feel the releasing of lightning and drops of rain from the sound cloud. You shine like me, the crown sprout. But unlike me, shine you haven't turned down loud. The smoke screen which surrounds you, shrouds your sound. My shout allow your genius to astound the crowd. You my beloved, you scintillate profusion. You my beloved, you resent fate foolishly. You my beloved, do ventilate truthfully. You my beloved son, and who I'm well pleased. Okay, shall it? Your vision is Riesling in my descending when filming your intuition extends. The lenses felt when your cinematographic flashes of your scripted class. Get your inner magic, dramatic action mixed with vivid aspects. Master surpasses the average glass, stretches the facet through the scope of life's Kodak QC classic. The question you have is mathematics. Please ask it, son. Earth's a classroom, so put your hand up. And last boom, you already knew the answer. I pray to God to give me another chance for the love of my life, my wife, just a romance. In the misconception, no time but second guessing. It's destined. You knew who was who through a reflection that she showed you of me many years ago. Special features presentation appears to show you my beloved. You scintillate profusely, you my beloved. You resent fate foolishly, you my beloved. Do ventilate truthfully, you my beloved son, in whom I'm well pleased. Now Samuel, I am you. Well for sure that the signal is inscribable, deprogrammable. From a look up to a lion, not of my bloodline. Don't give a damn, don't love you as if you was mine. I'll be the first. Forgive me for my absence. The most I sat me down to learn patience through abstinence. Amongst other lessons, perfect my craft and talents. Balance of our legacy in the Black Hawk's talents. Face adversity, overcome all challenges. Generational wealth for the next generation to us. Can't make the same mistakes of past to sustain. Let's create an after we find relapses. Type of atmosphere, redirected fire, recalibrated energy to propel us higher. As sovereign, opulent, autocratus, niches. I look at all three of my sons. On God, I see you, my beloved. You scintillate profusely, you my beloved. You resent fate foolishly, you my beloved. Do ventilate truthfully, you my beloved. Sons in whom I'm well pleased.
And my music, and a lot of this music, it's only talking about the suppressed rising. The oppressed rising up against the oppressor. That's all. That's what my music's about. The oppressed rising up against the oppressor. So the only people that's scared are the oppressors. The only people who could have any harm coming to them are those who oppress. Simple as that. 3 pound pressure, no way lesser. Drop the oppressor, ain't no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no way lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no way lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no way lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. It's time for change, got a boss up. The oppressor's about to get tossed up. I'ma lay him out, execution style. Too late for an apologetic claim. You wrapped in a cloak of blame, by God, it's overdue. Your time is to the end. Locked out, silent without sin. He put me on the better with justice to win. The oppressor's about to get rolled down. With some persons attached to the war zone. Revolution can start in the Arizona. I'm a messenger, plotting like Derricom. Backed by the honorable, who sits at the pinnacle. Who judges the hypocritical, cynical, with the pitiful, simple. My thinking is critical. I'm just ventilating of the actions of the protection service. Critical, the Glock blast and kill. This don't take any type of skill. I'm ill of all citizens who haven't took a stand over meals. Too late when the caps get bills. Don't believe the GC type. Going hips close to home. You gotta act the bone when it got the dome. When it's on the zone, all red of my vision through sight. It's gonna be killed whenever I fight. From above, I've been given the right. So you better be ready to ride tonight. On the way to the dawn daylight. We gon' run them out, so gon' pass the kite. 3 pound pressure, no way lesser. Drop the oppressor, ain't no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no way lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no way lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no way lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. This world is such a, and when I say this world, I mean an ideal sense. I mean it every day, it's such a, gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like taught that from school, everywhere. Big business, you want to be successful, you want to be like Trump, gimme, push, 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 step, 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 crush, crush, crush. That's how it all is. And it's like, nobody ever stopped.
That's a badass bike. Hey, what's going on, guys? I was waiting for more people to come in and say what's up. Hey, Alicia, what's going on, fam? I want to address a few things. You know, I'm an individual, right? Lately, of the last close to 30 years, everybody comes and talks to me. You know, like, well, they look for something for me to discuss. And I've had those who have dropped their guard, and I'm not talking about in a bad or good way. They dropped their guard and they opened up. You know, a lot of, for example, psychotherapy, right? A lot of people that don't know about psychology. Are you aware that a lot of them, because of all the information they get, they have a psychotherapist to go to, and so on and so on? Now, sociology, as you know, is not the same as psychology. It deals with environment and all those things and linguistics, you know. Psychology deals with supposedly the mental. I'm going to read some definitions of certain words. And and I got the younger brother, the white. He's not the youngest, but the younger brother of the three of the oldest, who is the individual who's quiet and doesn't say nothing, but he has some of the most darkest, malevolent, sociopathic thoughts that he'll act upon. And then, thankfully, through the grace of our existence and creation, he's been able to hold it back for 50-something years, for his 40-something, 50 years, whatever, right? But you always come across these individuals who think that they're new or their way is the way and nobody else's. This is ignorance. I'm around it all the time, all right? All the time. I'm around it all the time. Trust me. And I mean, I don't bark, I don't harken on it or whatever. I'm the individual that doesn't have to tell you I'm the good guy dealing with bad people. And when I say bad people, I'm not shunning. I'm talking about people who are very unaware of the role or the parts they play and the dismissal. Family, you know, when you're coming up, right? Family was supposed to be the earth. We are the one, we are the champion, we are the one to make a bright on day, you know, and everything else, hands across America and all this other stuff. All the gang mentality. We take care of family. You know they don't take care of shit. There's always a mentally sick individual who wants more. With a juvenile or prison, you know, hey, you know, can I give you a honey bun? You want some chocolate filling? You know, all that crazy stuff. And that's what the world kind of marginalized. Because of the system, the very idiots who are destroying so-called America and all this other stuff. That's what they've laid out. And through media and everything else. And sadly, but true, and honestly, everybody buys into it because everybody's broken. They don't know. I always do everything with good intentions, you know? Always have. Even when I was selling weed or whatever, right? It was always with good intentions. Even in the most solemn of ignorance, even if it was just for self, but not for gratification. I didn't sell the T cells and all that and the weird stuff, things you get involved with you shouldn't. It's there. And that's part of growing up in this corrupt world. But the fiction mind state of individuals is the reason why I study people. It's not like it's a good thing and I want to. No. When hell y'all think you recognize it, you think you got it locked in, y'all surface. That's the easy shit. That person's no good. That person's crazy. That's surface. Any idiot can do that. Any idiot can freaking do that. Any idiot. It's when you start getting to the deeper part, the deeper end of it. That's when mofos don't know shit. That's why I really don't listen to a lot of people. I listen to them and talk with them, convey them this, that, and the other, but I don't sit there and it's not about me knowing more or anything, but sometimes people just don't know nothing. And I test it. Bro, okay. That's all. Usually that's what I go, okay. Sure. Or I start talking to build on it and I stop and I'm like, it's like whatever. I'm gonna read these definitions. You come in and say hi or whatever, it's all right. Let me go ahead and get into it. I'm looking at this mountain and the design at the top. I want to show y'all this. And there's something stuck with me, and I actually want to go closer. It's way out there, but it's really, really awesome. But let's start with this, okay? Hidden personality disorder. A hidden personality disorder often refers to quiet borderline personality disorder. Quiet BPD, okay? For those who study this stuff. Or covert narcissism. Well, before we go into the further reading this, let's take a look at what narcissism is, or narcissistic. A narcissist is a person with narcissism, a personality style or disorder characterized by an exaggerated sense of self-importance, a deep need for excessive admiration, and a significant lack of empathy for others. They'll lie on you. They'll say anything. And because they're narcissistic, dealing with narcissism, they'll stick by it even though they know they're lying. Well, even if they're wrong, they can't be wrong. Okay, let's go back. Back to hidden personality disorder. Where individuals internalize symptoms, suppress emotions, and appear outwardly calm, making their internal struggles less visible to others, but is destroying you. Other personality disorders like schizoid personality disorder can also present as less obvious due to a focus on the inner world or a retreat from relationships. Identifying these conditions is difficult because the person may not recognize their behavior as problematic or may hide them because it's qualified by individuals around them who are just as sick. Or they refuse to say something opposite or otherwise. Or because they've gotten away with doing it for so long that they've acclimated to it in a strong sense, which is proverbial. Morally or immorally. I'm the individual that if I come around you, I'll never smile in your face if I don't like you. If I don't like you, it's got to be a good reason. I'm just not going to create something out of the air. I'm a person that stands on those morals and laws. I'm going to look at you and how you act. I'm going to converse. If you act like you're a tough mofo, I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to throw my little stuff in the wind, and it ain't even nothing. And I see how you react like, why would anybody accept you? See, this is narcissism. This is getting to that narcissism, that despot thing where you never said enough. But see, people watch you move and you feel like the silent quiet is the deadly. That's not the case. It's not the case. Even those who have a hype game, because they're liked within, I call it medieval circles, fake Knights Templars and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I'm at the round table. I don't see no round table fool. And where's your big ass Excalibur? I don't go that far, but I look at people when they act like they're the head of the round table, I'm sitting there going, no deviance, just study. Why? I look at the surrounding, the environment. When I look at what's laid out, all good or bad. I see where the attitude comes from, right off the bat. Doesn't mean that I marginalize myself in this position to say that's it, because that's not how it works. I need people to talk to. There's people of importance who I want to talk to more than anything. And they want to have a good conversation, but they're talking to empty characters. And it's a fact. When you think that you know it all and you show that you lack the experience or knowledge, you should humble yourself and realize you don't know it all, but you don't downplay yourself and act like you don't know nothing. Worst thing to do, you know enough to have gotten you here. That is the same stuff you need to go ahead, keep yourself equipped with, and build. You need to build on it. But yet, the building is not impervious. It is not a solid door with the most exotic, exuberant deadbolts that nobody can figure out, like a puzzle of 14 moves. It's not well hidden either. It's just that some people are used to it and they've permitted and allowed it. And they don't realize that other people are gonna look at it and be like, you know what I mean? I ain't tolerating, I don't want none of that. People don't know how to say no, so the persons will change. And with them, they always take something painful to bring them to circumvent in a different direction. And that's sad. And some don't. Some just like, they want cookie, cake, and pie, and everything, and eat it. And as long as they keep getting it, until they're too old before they go, oh, I made so many mistakes in my middle 30 years. It's not like they didn't know it. Narcissism is a real thing, right? So the hidden personality disorder is one, okay? Egotistical. Egotistical describes someone characterized by egotism, meaning they have an inflated and exaggerated sense of self-importance over everyone else, more so than anyone else, often believing they are superior to others, negated based on the terms of what they understand and what they've learned. Sadly, that is pretty pathetic. That means they become a shallow hull of self. Though they may look good and this, that, and the other, there's a void that mountain is also that they cannot fill, because otherwise it wouldn't be there, and those around them have succumbed to the whim of their narcissism or their hidden personality disorder. All right? But ego is strong because we rallied in it based on a system that will pit one against another. That stops all family ties. And the most important and easy thing is to put your foot down and say, we're not destroying family, no more. And I'm talking about on a bigger scale. But you also got to be mindful that there are those out there, all right, with sociopaths, psychotic, neurotic, whatever, right? And they're still going to act and function in that accord, sadly. What can you do? Well, the majority really can't do nothing, because the majority will suffer from it in some form or one way or another. Okay? Now, an egotistical person may be conceited, self-centered, look at me, arrogant, and prone to boasting about their own qualities, or be silent unless they're around the same circle of individuals where they could do that. The great us, the great we. Everybody else is minimal, Sometimes to the exclusion or belittling of others, even the simulation of lying, manipulation. When I look a certain way, I pop my boobies out, I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? Officer, how you doing? Can we talk? Is there anywhere we can go and we can park and talk quietly? Or dudes, I'm telling you what I told you, and you're gonna do what I said, and there ain't nothing else you're gonna do about it because I said what you're gonna do, and that's the bottom line. You understand me? Towering over you with an extra foot and a half. Got you by about 80 pounds, not knowing that people are intelligent, know how to, they can handle that. But chopping trees, it take a little while, and be quick. Not to advocate violence. I'm just giving you a formula of sorts. T is with me, right? Now, I don't promise anything. I guarantee you what you're capable of. But I know that if you walk and I walk with you, you better believe there is an end to the rainbow. There is a place. There is a place of good. Now, the enemy, Satan, whatever you want to call it, them, Legion, what, I don't care. It's beyond the scope of what you can interpret. There's principalities. There's things that work against you, and you fed it. You have fed the darkness. This is not. You fed it. And a lot of you are still feeding it right now, and you're wondering why you can't change. Why it has to take so long. What is it that's missing? Why can't I go this way? Why do I got to do it this way? Why am I voter or fraudulent? You know, well, I guess fraudulent. Or fictional confidence. Would anybody go out their way to hurt others when they might be the ones that can help? We put all eggs into the basket before they hatch. And when they hatch, all the eggs on the bottom suffocate. That's not how it's supposed to be. But then we go back into the hidden, you know, we get the justification, we get back into the hidden personality disorders, we get back into the dilemma that's steeped in psychology and the psychotherapy and all. Psychotherapy was supposed to be something to help it, but the psychotherapy is usually their own, or the fact that they can manipulate and cover their vestige and all the things that make them mad and keep moving in that disorderly way until someone puts their foot down, right? And usually that's based on ego. I can cure it, I can fix it, or the ego of ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm perfect. You know what I'm saying? So when we look at a psychopath, and what is a psychopath, right? A person affected by chronic mental disorder with abnormal or violent social behavior. Sometimes that violent social behavior is not right out front. They got to build it up. They've got to find something, make something, and then they'll pursue it and venerate it in many different ways, even have other people involved. I watched these two idiots, and one knucklehead, older guy, stupid, shoots a guy in the head, 22, blows his squawk out. He was an ex-army guy, and a guy working, and he liked the ladies in the night. But to murder him over a few dollars, it shows you it's worse, it's more than a dilemma. It's worse than control. Because when you want to control something, you don't have no control. And then you listen to how they talk. They run. You commit yourself to doing something, stand there and deal with it. The case that we're dealing with, narcissistic, sociopathic, you know, hidden, the whole slew of it, you know, that's the majority. The majority of us are dealing with these things. I ain't got no ego. I want to clarify something. I'm not narcissistic. I don't give a damn. You know, a lot of things I talk about is for the benefit of others, not solely for me. I'm not psychotic. I'll hurt you. You come to hurt me, I'm going to hurt you. I don't have any hidden. Look, there's sometimes when there's things that don't need to be mentioned or spoke upon. Because a lot of you wouldn't know what to do with it. You'll be trifling with it and everything. I've said negative things about myself, and I know some of you are running around because that's all you know. You know to be a sociopath. Running on your fictional ego with your head held high of somebody else's butt, performing the same chaotic, distorted dance. It's not all right. Yet, it's something we see predominant. I mean, it starts in school. It starts at your home. Oh, Jimmy, oh, he got it together. Look at him. Oh, all you got them A's and get a C, D, and an E, right? And get your ass whooped, right? Where's all that love? Well, I fell off for a minute. Well, what permitted it? No, we forget we're in a world that is corroborated through corruption and a whole lot of different dialects of negating negative things. But no one has really got the answer. Now, we used to have the nanas, right? The greats and the grands, right? Who can convey certain things. They've taken it to heart and mind, and they had a way that was very eloquent, not disproportionately unequal, and balanced. And they can calm. Good old country, you know what I'm saying? I hate that word country bunker, but you know, your abuela or your aunties and all your, you know what I'm saying? Those women who have this predisposition to be able to express something, not to make it go away, but to give you a better, confident way of dealing with it. We don't have a lot of that now. You know what I'm saying? Big mamas, Tom, yes. We don't have a lot of that, you know? And that was decisive. That was with purpose, done. So when you're looking at a psychopath, well, you can grow into one, especially with ill guidance and no guidance. And that's big too. A lot of times people, you know, when I'm talking about certain things, I'm usually looking at around 10 to 12 people. But I'm making sure that there's something fact-based at least to go ahead and discuss it. Doesn't mean, do I want people to pull up negativity and be, no. These things are very curable. But what's the preventive medicine? Well, the change of how individuals deal with them. That's when we get into the sociopath thing, the sociopathic ideology or ideation even. But when you look at a sociopath, there's a term used to describe an individual with antisocial personality disorder, ASPD. A lot of people talk to you because you're in their presence. Don't mean they want to. Okay? ASPD, right? This antisocial personality disorder is a mental health condition characterized by a persistent pattern of disregard for social norms, laws, and the rights of others. Yes, whatever company or whatever, I was looking at this little video of these little young black kids, melanated, whatever you want to call them, fighting this pale-skinned woman and her man in the neighborhood, and they're just all running around. And then I watched this girl that looked like a boy walk up and hit this little boy in the head. Hit him in the head. Becoming a deviant, a sociopath. Next step is psychopath. It's like a perforated line where you want to punch something out and it's perforated and you want to make it clean, so you go in there, you hit it with the X-Acto knife and it comes out nice. Instead of having those little Irish pendants. All the emotions and all the feelings. Some, when they get older and they didn't take care of it, it's more subtle, more disheartening. And those are the people who use the people around them to try to attempt to hurt someone, and they'll be crying at their funeral. And the unwise ones won't even sit there and say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get you involved. They'll just be like, oh, I can't believe you're going. We got to get that bastard. But they're the one that created the problem. Look at all those people in the Gaza. All those people have been murdered, displaced, millions. Living in tents, hardly no water, food, famine, because of this sorry ass, all these so-called governments. They want the new world order and they're gonna get it. Or they're gonna do it however they can to get it. And y'all are moving with hidden mental disorders. You all have a hard time coming together. I have no problem getting together with people who don't have nothing because they have everything. I have no issue with having conversations with individuals because most individuals' conversations is one track, one way, devoid of anything that necessitates something with moral subjugation or moral aptitude and responsibility. I do it because I have to maintain that as well. Let's go back to narcissists. All right, a narcissist is a person with narcissism, a personality style or disorder characterized by an exaggerated sense of self-importance, a deep need for excessive admiration, and a significant lack of empathy for others. When you think about inflated sense, right, inflated sense of self-importance, they have an exaggerated view of their own importance, abilities, and achievements. So they demote you. They put you in this caste. Those are individuals I find to be very disconnected. I don't know how anybody listens to them and how the circle's that big, but it exists. Constant need for admiration. They require continuous praise and attention from others to validate their self-image. Excuse me. I'll comment and say something that's beautiful and nice, but they always think everyone's talking to them. I wasn't talking to your ass. And get the fuck over it. And that's it. They don't even know how to deal with that when you're dead serious. How dare anybody minimize my character and who I am? How dare? There's no wrong or right with this individual, and they're never gonna find a right to make things less complicated. Awful. When you think of lack of empathy, right? Well, lack of empathy, we look at it. They struggle to understand, care about, or recognize the feelings and needs of others. It's unimportant. It's only them. Self-centered like a motherfucker. Egotistical, sociopathic, diabolical to a sense, even in the subtlest and quietest of forms. If you can't tell a person this is how you're acting, you're acting like a sociopath. You're a psychopath. You got some hidden agendas as far as the mental disorder. Why is it that you feel like everybody's supposed to kowtow about you? Kowtow, in King and Han dynasties, we kowtow, right? No. Kowtow to nobody. What the hell? But this is part of the dilemma. When you're dealing with even going as far as lack of empathy. But then the next one kind of hits it in the head. And that's the lack of, that is the preoccupation with self. That goes into exploitive behavior. So preoccupation with self. Their thoughts, actions, and efforts revolve around their own needs, desires, and goals, nobody else's. I will hold your past against you. I will dump on you, but tell you I love you, or it's important. I won't say it, and I'll keep acting because I don't know how to get much shit together, but I want you to suffer, and therefore I'm gonna keep you around until you suffer it out, until I realize there's nothing else more suffrage I can bring on you. You get where I'm coming from? Okay. Let's get into the exploitative behavior. They'll usually tell everybody else that someone's trying to manipulate and exploit you. They may manipulate or take advantage of others for their own personal gain. Now that gain can be a number of things, a plethora of things. It doesn't mean one thing. It's a composite of many different things. It just takes an individual a while to go, wait a minute. Excuse me, I don't want to curse, right? Yes. But then you get into the retaliatory and argument and the fighting and everything else. It's a beautiful thing when people get to say enough is enough. But if you don't address the real problem, the other individual is not going to be fixed. And if you hold it to yourself, you're a hoarder, not of innocence. Okay? Now we think about arrogance and entitlement. Arrogance and entitlement that's like the gimme, right? That's a lot of it steeps from there sometimes, right? They often display attitudes of superiority, expecting special treatment. And even when they get it, they will still want more, and they will hold everything over you and throw it up in there. I'll tell this. Who does stuff like that? Well, a lot of people. I had to deal with it, of course. I'm like, tell nigga, I done told everybody. What you think I'm worried about that? Man, that's me. That is nothing compared to what's going on and what you done. You know what I'm saying? I don't get into it. I just let it be where it's at and let it right along. And my conviction is, well, what's the symposium? Where am I supposed to be at? Sometimes we're at where we shouldn't be at. Hey, Dev. And when you look at, I want to point at the origin of the term, okay? The origin of the term narcissist comes from the Greek myth Narcissus, who was punished by the gods to fall in love with his own reflection in a pool of water. Who remembers that? There was a cartoon. Eventually leading to his demise. This myth is a metaphor for the extreme self-absorption seen in individuals with narcissistic traits as far as narcissism or narcissists. I think it's important to actually look at definitions, regardless if they're correct, dealing with the time, and apply them in a way that can be beneficial and meaningful in the world that we're involved in, one way or the other. But I do this because whenever I see something else happens, and this is who I am, I feel that it's important for individuals to realize the seriousness of it. I've got a position right now where I got to go get a whole bunch of stuff and move it to a whole another place. I can't even get this thing off. I don't have enough fiat to get the jacks, to get them off. We don't have enough manpower to take this off or the place to put it, and the time being running things back and forth. And it's like I keep getting caught up in these conundrums that are it's selfish. And when everything could have worked to the better of everybody. I always say I can prove it to you by action, not by word. Especially when the action's there. There's so much that can be accomplished from more than one head. Sometimes people, they put themselves in an ownership position and a predicament that comes from it that is, I can't fail. And when it happens, you remove everything around you and say, oh, well, the problem was over there and the problem was over there, and you know, and I couldn't do nothing about it. Child, you know how it goes. The drama comes and all the lies, and somewhere down the road, that'll get back to the other individuals. Yet, nobody wants to take, everyone wants to take credit for everything good, but nobody wants to take credit for when they're wrong, when they mess up, when they do something that should never been done. I was looking on here and I was looking at everything that was given to immigrants, right? And I'm sitting there saying, what the and I look back at this government and these whatever you want to call these individuals, I don't have a word for them other than the fact that they're shit. They're just garbage. Weak, cowardly, and they have to do stuff like this because they attempt to get to a certain position while the rest of you, they're making you sick and weak and everything else. And I look at those who partake in it, man, as if they're going to benefit from it. It's I said I knew I was going to do things when I started doing this YouTube channel. I knew it. Didn't know what, but I knew it would be whatever. And I'd stand fast. But I knew that y'all, I just knew that y'all wouldn't do what I would do. And it's hard, I know it is. You can say all the right things. I'm not big on saying the right things. I'm about being honest and devoid of all the other things that necessitate the corruption, the collaboration, the corruption in the world and chaos. Yet, there are those, they just can't get it right. And it's only because they don't want to. And that's hard to say. It's harsh to say it that way, but they don't want to. I'm not saying that they can't and that they don't want to, but for the time being, some feel like they got it all answered. They got everything worked out. Well, I can be taken care of and fuck everyone else. See, this is when we get into that place, that dysplasia, that we get into the acronyms and we get into those things and nobody will address them and look at them because they'll write them off. Nobody doesn't really know. Told you I'm a sociology major. I hate psychology crap. Some things are relevant. I watch Scar in the Woods. I watch all these characters. I watch the homeless Japanese guy trekking all over Japan. I watch individuals and content creator. I like it. I do like, and that's why I'm cleaning it up a lot, you know. But I like the shock therapy too as well. Yet there is so much that can be achieved, even in the shortest of time. All of you are aware now that all these platforms are ran by ex-IDF, Mossad, whatever. See, y'all know this by now, right? Y'all know that all these platforms they're ran by them. That's pretty sad and sick, but now you have a little leeway into what may be, regardless of what's really going on, because the majority here have no clue. Communication is the best thing, and the majority of us don't know how to communicate. I said us, I know how to communicate, but the majority don't. They believe everything will just blow over, and that's the reason why everyone's in the position and the situation they're in, because everybody thinks that everything's going to blow over and it'll fix itself, and they can hold on to who they are as if it's viable and required. No, those things are important to utilize at the right time. But when you move in the facade of this ideology and this narrative and put yourself in this composite and you move like that all the time, you're robbing yourself. It doesn't matter. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to believe it or whatever. You literally are robbing yourself. That's the reality. As sucky as that sounds, it's a real reality. Who am I to say? Well, everyone's to say. Everyone is to say. Majority of women are sociopaths. Majority of men are egotistical narcissists, woeful narcissists, but this is just reality. We decided to involve the nuclear family in the world into our religious affairs and into our homely affairs. That's supposed to be separate. We do that to have certain things, but we don't mix that with pleasure. Family is supposed to be pleasure. It's supposed to be magnificent and beautiful. That stuff is done so we can access it and have it here in this world that they created that everybody seemed to have bought into. None of you are going against it. So, and if you are, you just all talk. What's wrong with figuring out the family part? I ain't talking about your immediate family. They're the ones that pretty much allow you to be fucking stupid and sick. Excuse my French. But it is. It is that way. Now you see why I laugh a lot of times. Because otherwise, it'd be stress. And you can't bottle stress up because it kills you. I laugh because it's like, wow, really? That's where we're at? Like, people, zero accomplishments, leaning on the ancestors, but not holding your own. I gotta shower. I'm gonna wash my ass and dress up and take your sick, debilitating, mentally disordered, fucked up self right on out there and party with all the same like individuals. Thank you, but no thank you. So I can act ugly all over again. So I can do it all over again. Until I do it to the individuals of those who can change the whole narrative. And I mean, a hot second. What? Now, I could have said many things differently. I could have changed this and put it this way and that way. And I says, no. We need to talk about the acronyms. We need to put them up in a way that's positive and it's something to look at. It's a hardball thing, and there are many who are going to look at things and go, wait a minute, and question everything. Is it relevant? Does it mean something? Should I be mindful of this? Well, your enemies are being mindful of their acts, and their acts to destroy you. And they're doing it with everybody watching, and everybody divided and separated, and they're enjoying it. Yeah. Same old usual. I'm on a reservation if y'all was wondering. Reservation. Anyway, I just want to come on and talk about that. I'm gonna come on later. I want to talk about a couple other things. But people are selfish and they think it's beneficial. People think they have all the answers. Are they going to do this? Are they tired? They're going to do that. I'm not going to say shit. I'm just going to do this. And they think that everything is all right. It's not. We make it all right. But it takes real work. It takes real, arduous work. And most people really don't want to do the work. Like I said, they're happy where they're at. They think they got it all. They think they know it all. And that suffices them. When that's not the case. I keep all the serial numbers. Every gun I've sold, the people who I know, whether it's the smoke shop, whoever, right? Guys at the gunfighter range, whatever. I keep all the serial numbers. I keep the amount. I keep the promissory. I keep everything. Because I am still a lawful individual. And you better believe that's how I move. Just because I don't like the bad guys doing bad shit. When people don't want to study the law, this and another, know what to say or what cannot be done, that's not on me. I always say, real laws, Constitution, if you follow by it, or you live an upright life and you do right by it, you don't have to act all the other ways. And you know there are individuals, a disease and an order that's out here doing dumb shit. But you give it your best shot. You do your best. You don't have to be narcissistic or a sociopath. You don't have to walk with hidden mental agendas and all that crap. You don't have to. And people need to stop deflecting, gaslighting. Keep your fake smiles away. If you can't laugh and smile with a wholehearted heart, then what are you doing? Anyway, I appreciate y'all taking the time. Yeah, Cashapp if you want to help, whatever, I can use it. We can use it. But wow, I put the skin off my finger. Anyway, I gotta look at some things. I gotta go and get my forms and paperwork I'm gonna wait till 7 grams get off work, and I'm gonna find out. He's got a nice storage place. I want to go by and see what it is, how much it costs. If I should have enough, and get my stuff and put it in there. I don't care however I get it. I got this big thing on, so I can't stack everything. I could probably pretty much get most of everything, but I don't have 6 or 8 men to lift this damn thing up and take it off. So, all that. Men everywhere, but like I said, you know what I mean? It's an AC office, it's too damn cold. And even though it's 100-something degrees, I prefer the heat, you know? But, yeah, it's always something. Always something. It's like people are being, like, they're being suicidal or some shit. I don't know. I don't want to say nothing negative. I don't have to. But it's really, really like people are just saying, and it's sad. Somebody shared something with me to my Gmail account, and they said, "Oh, Red, I see what you're talking about. They do have a machine. They do have machines that control people's feelings and emotions." Hello? And people think they're untouchable, that it's not affecting them. Well, people are just not paying attention and seeing and listening. Listening and seeing what's really going on. I can feel it all the time, but I recognize it, so I can deflect from it. I can, oh wow, there we go. You know, a couple little deep breathing exercises, and my mind state, I look at it and make sure it's stable, and I go, okay, wow, this is some crap. This is, when you can feel it, you go, holy smack. Then I read the numbers, and it proves exactly. And they found it. They were able to pull up the CIA mind manipulation, emotion, and driving thing. I was like, hello. You think I just pulled that out my ass, my butt, excuse me? No, man, I'm not gonna make up something. I know how to tell stories, but I'm not gonna, when it comes to stuff like that. It's really there. And is it perfected? No. That mountain, let me show you how this mountain, man. This is crazy. I'm gonna flip this around. See if I can. Look at that shit. Look at that. Is that crazy? And the funny thing is, it has something going up, spiraling up. Like, where to? I don't know where. It's just, it's crazy. Somebody sent me a message again. A lot of people send me messages, man. I got to go to Instagram, and I can't even see it because I don't have the messages. So I got to look at it like it's, I could open it in the web. It's crazy. But, yeah. I'm running here to use the bathroom. I got a little something I'm going to eat here. And I got to look at some things, and then it's the United States of America. Every state's got its own little practices and all this bullshit, their own little concept. I am so done with this fake United States bullshit. I'm so done with this fake, throw America up and we use war to emanate that way, the great country. What the fuck is that, right? Excuse my language, I'm just saying. I don't see how people, I don't see how y'all get caught up in this crap like that. But anyway, I appreciate you guys, and I'll be going on a little later. I gotta do these things so I can get it done. Let me see where it's at, what numbers are. I gotta change that. I'll see you guys, you know what I'm saying? Hey, what's going on? Info Million, what's going on? I'm gonna hit you guys in a little bit, all right? Somebody sent a couple dollars, I appreciate it, $2 I think. Who was that? I saw the thing, notification. Oh, wow. There we go. Hey, Dev, appreciate you, beloved. Sent the heart, man. Appreciate you, beloved. But anyway, let me go ahead and I gotta pull this stuff up. I gotta get all this stuff locked in, and I gotta get the information. And I'll chat with you guys in a little bit, all right? You already know.